So I was going to make a big post about my experience. Sorry for the Mr. Rogers thing here, my shoes. About my experience for the first 30 days with my Nordictrack S22i bike. No, I'm not sponsored by them. Not sponsored by iFit, the software that they run. Not sponsored by anyone. I just purchased this and kind of really enjoyed it. And I want to talk about how it has changed me in just the first 30 days of owning it. So let's rewind a few months. Actually, let's go back a year or so. Pre-COVID, when I worked in the office every day, me and my coworkers would occasionally, not them more than I would, go for a walk in the woods on our lunch break or for a meeting. And, you know, that kind of was the only thing I would do for a regular activity. Now, COVID comes along, and I start working from home every day. First few months, wasn't very active at all. And I haven't been very active for years. You know, I work as a computer guy, you know, and I spend a lot of time behind the desk. Beginning of COVID, the wife and I would start to do walks while she was home. But then she went back to the office, seasons changed, and I just didn't keep up with that. I did buy a stand-up desk, so that would get me, you know, at least not sitting at the desk all day. Probably the most activity I'd get would be pacing during a conference call. And unfortunately, my headset would connect and disconnect as I would pace throughout the house, and everybody's like, "Hey, we can't hear you." So, you know, that wasn't exactly a great workout plan. So now, let's fast forward a little bit. I'm back in the office a couple days a week, and my coworkers are riding bikes. You know, during their lunch breaks, they go out and do loops around Freeport. Have some conversations in the office. We talk about stationary bikes and treadmills, you know, and it starts to get me thinking. So I started doing some research, and sure enough, I could use my HSA funds, my health savings account, to purchase workout equipment, exercise equipment, as long as my doctor wrote me a letter of medical necessity. One message to my doctor, and a day later, I had a letter in my inbox that said Jason should use his health savings account to do anything to lose weight, basically. And so I took that letter, and I started researching, ordering one online. They were 4 or 6 weeks out. You know, I am an impulse buyer, and I really wanted to do something now. So I went up to Dick's Sporting Goods, also not a sponsor, and I purchased this Nordictrack, not a sponsor, S22i bike, kind of the top of the line bike. And in my head, I was going to use my HSA funds to pay for this. After buying the bike, I decided that wasn't what I wanted to do. HSA funds actually have a lot of value if you're not using them. You can store them up, and you know, you kind of get some tax benefits from them if you save them for retirement. So anyways, I bought this bike with the intention to pay for it with HSA, and I didn't. But that's how I got here. So now I've started my journey, and I set up the bike. And the first day, just getting the bike moved into the house, getting a little winded, a little tired, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to save it for tomorrow. I'll get a ride in tomorrow. Day 2, I jump on the bike, and the seat hurts. And the seat will hurt for new people that haven't ridden. The seat hurts, my hands hurt, my wrists hurt, my feet hurt. I'm just a heavy guy, I'm not in shape, and it's kicking my butt just trying to do a basic ride. Do a little bit more research, go out and buy some bike shorts. We throw a more comfortable seat on it eventually, and I start doing rides. everything still hurts. Every day, everything hurts. It really hurts to get off the bike. You know, from sitting on that seat, I'm not built that way. My hands and wrists hurt. The coaches keep telling me to get up and out of the saddle. I can't. I don't have the balance. I don't have the strength. But what I am noticing those first few days is the burn in my legs, the feeling in my legs when I get off the bike feels great. It feels like I have more energy now. I'm like, well, this is kind of cool. Start doing some more research into iFit. Start exploring this system. Find out there are challenges, there are series you can do. If you complete some of their monthly challenges, they send you these little magnets. It's just a little magnet. You know, this one here says, Summer Camp, Meet Your Counselors Challenge. But you get these, and you start sticking them on the side of your bike or on a goal board. Through their software, they want you to set a goal. So I set a goal of 20 miles a week. This is me. I've never ridden a bike since high school, basically. I'm now almost 40, and I haven't ridden a bike in probably 20 years. So I'm thinking 20 miles a week for 3 weeks. That's 60 miles. I can do that. That's a good goal. Let's start doing that. And I also set myself a goal that I want to ride every day. Because they say if you do the same thing every day for 30 days, it becomes a habit. So that's why we're here on day 30. Well, 32 now. But we're here after day 30 so I can talk about my new habit. Every day I'm on this bike. And I love it. So as you can tell, I'm on the bike right now. There's no resistance or anything. We're just kind of cranking in. But I'll start to get a workout going on here. Right now I'm doing the couple of series. I'm doing the Couch to 40K, which is build you up for a 25-mile ride. I also picked up on this John Peel beginner series in Costa Rica. So this is workout 2 from that series. I did workout 1 this morning. But anyway, so as I was saying, my hands would hurt every single ride. My feet would hurt. They'd start to tingle every single ride. My butt hurt every single ride. But then they didn't. I get into these rides and the coaches would tell me, work on your core. You want to focus on your core. I kept going, okay, great. How do I do that? But then they started giving me tips throughout the way. Started giving me tips on muscles, on posture on the bike, how to tighten up your core as you're riding. They constantly ask me to get out of the saddle, stand up out of the seat and bike, which is how I used to bike as a kid, but just doing it would kill me now. I started posting on Facebook, as probably a lot of people that are the first ones to see this video are going to know. I posted on Facebook every day. And I didn't do it to brag. I did it because it motivated me. And I knew when I walked out and I saw my friends, they'd be like, hey, how's that bike thing going? And if I stopped doing it, if I didn't ride that day, and somebody asked me about it, it's another motivating factor for me. It's another thing that's going to get me up on this bike. Also got a lot of messages from people saying that it's motivated them to either do their workout routine or to look into getting a bike. You don't have to get a bike. It's not for everybody. We considered a treadmill. We considered an elliptical. The wife wanted a bike. And I have to give her props too right now. My wife has been on this bike every single day, just like I have. And as of last week, my daughter is now on the bike every single day. She just finished a 9-mile ride yesterday and beat my time on it. So this bike has been paying off for the entire family. The youngest isn't tall enough to ride the bike yet, but we set her up with some yoga classes. And so she's doing some iFit yoga classes over on the TV every once in a while, so she can get involved too. But like I said, let's talk about some results. I feel amazing. I absolutely feel amazing after these rides. It gives me energy to do all kinds of things. It gives me energy to do a lot of stuff around the house that had been lacking. I get off the bike and I've got that energy, and I'm out there cleaning and fixing things and getting through the honey-do list. It clears me up mentally so I can focus on getting things done for my job, for my work at the fire department. I just feel great and I feel energized coming off of it. I never did this for weight, but I'm kind of proud to say that just in the first 30 days I'm down 12 pounds, which just, I've seen weight on the scale now that I haven't seen in years. Like I said, my hands had hurt when I started, no more. That work for my core, that pulling my core in while I ride, I can now ride, no problem. My hands are just here, just lightly supporting me. The seat, no longer an issue. I can ride for an hour and a half, 2 hours on this thing nonstop. The out of the saddle work has gotten a lot easier. So like I said, I feel better. I'm doing longer and longer rides. I've put, in the first month, I have done over 350 miles on this bike. Remember how I said I wanted to do 20 miles a week for 3 weeks? Yeah, I did 60 miles probably the first week and a half. My new goal now is 50 miles a week. Still not that hard. I've gotten up to 23 miles in a day. So I think I've talked about everything I want to talk about. I'm not a great video maker, but I kind of want to get this message out there. 30 days ago, these rides were a struggle. Everything about this was a struggle, but it made me feel good, and it still makes me feel good. And nowadays, I can crank this resistance up. I can crank this incline up, and up out of the saddle is no longer an issue. So we're going to get going on this workout. This is just the beginning of my journey. It's going to be a long road to getting myself fit again. But I really appreciate everyone that has reached out, everyone that's given me motivation, and everyone that said I motivated them. So here we go. Hopefully I can give you guys some more updates in the future. And feel free to reach out if you want to know anything. Like I said, I'm not sponsored. But hey, if Nordictrack wants me to do a first 30 on their elliptical or a first 30 on their treadmill, they know how to find me. Have a great day.